Hello, today we're going to talk about the Remix project, Project 4. So our plan for today is to talk about the purpose of the remix, define what it is, we'll talk about things that you might create, and then what your expectations or the process is for this project. The purpose. This project really builds on prior learning. In fact, it uses writing that you've already done for the class to create something new, which leads to the next purpose. You create a product very loose and open to what you might want to do with it that responds to the rhetorical situation, or what we have dubbed SPAM: the situation, the purpose, the audience, and the mode or the medium that we use to tell it, to create it. It allows you to experience and reflect on these rhetorical moves. You've been making these rhetorical moves, thinking about purpose, audience, mode for the whole class. But it's been implicit, it's been implied by these various assignments. This project really makes it explicit. It puts those things at the forefront. So what does it even mean to remix something? Well, remixing in this case really means to make something new again, to re-envision it, to take that thing that you've already done and turn it into something new and a little bit different. Sometimes it can even be kind of creating or putting together multiple things to tell one new story in a way. These are just some possible products and tools. This is not an exhaustive list. And there are links to some of these things in the written assignment overview that you can kind of check out the things. But things students have done in the past, certainly open to anything new as well. But I've had students make videos or TED Talks. ScreenPal is what I use to make the videos. It used to be called Screencast-O-Matic. iMovie, put it into YouTube. YouTube even has some video creator tools. You can create kind of that more formal research poster presentation. Owlette Purdue talks about how and what a research poster is. Canva, which is where this slideshow actually comes from, is a great tool for that. Infographics, again, Canva works great. There's also Piktochart. I've had students kind of make a little dance or skit or sing a song. All kinds of tools that you can use to do that. Maybe you'd like to make a picture book or a comic book or comic strip. Great tools again. There's templates in Canva, Book Builder, Pixton, Storyboard That, all kinds of free tools that you might use for that. Maybe a scrapbook would be a way, some photos and text to kind of journal a particular story or moment. Again, Canva. If you want to bring in that more kind of GIS mapping, story maps, and tons of free photo websites that have scrapbooking, journaling type of tools. This is not an exhaustive list. There are so many different things that you could do, and I'm sure that you and or your group, if you decide to do this as a group project, will be able to find something that's going to work great for your purpose and audience. These are just some modes that you could use to create your final product, which does lead us to our process. So this time our learning goals is again a proposal, and you're going to use SPAM to plan that project. So I'm going to ask you to briefly describe the situation. This is kind of where you're thinking about who is going to be making the project. Are you doing it individually? Are you doing a small group? Which project from class are you drawing on? Why is that particular project kind of the one that you chose to focus on? I want you to think about what your purpose is for this remix. Like, what do you want an audience to get from this project? What do you want them to learn or to take away? Then you have to say, well, who is that audience? And that really does lead us then to which tool, which mode is going to work best to actually share that purpose for the audience that we're trying to reach. We do have some pre-writing activities in class, and there is a Remix graphic organizer. There's also a checklist to make sure that you are keeping yourself on task throughout the project. This project is just a little bit different in our past projects in that there are no additional activities required. One, we have a little bit shorter time to actually get through the entire project. Two, depending on what mode and what you decide to do, it's kind of harder to work through some of those typical writing process pieces. You're drafting or you're creating and revising as you're working all along. And sometimes if you've made this whole project, you don't really want a bunch of feedback that you then have to go change things for. So certainly try to reach out to either group members, to me, to other classmates, maybe the Writing Center. There's some people in the Writing Center who are awesome at working with Remix projects. Reach out to those people to maybe get some feedback and help throughout the project, or rather than just waiting till one particular moment and then trying to move on from there. Which does mean that our drafting and revising stage, I kind of put them together, and it's just where you're creating your project. There's not going to be a peer review process for the Remix project this time. You will publish and share that. Of course, that means submitting your project and that reflection on what you have learned through the process of creating a Remix project. It's a great time to really focus on that rhetorical situation because, again, a purpose of this project is to think of the ways to explicitly to make those rhetorical moves very visible. Why did you choose those particular fonts or colors or backgrounds or sounds or images? How did you think that those things were going to help you reach your audience and portray your message? Like, how did all these little decisions that you have to make work together to make this one thing? And your reflection is a place for you to think about that and to really visualize your rhetorical moves. And then we will be presenting our project. So our presentations will take place at the first year writing conference, which is a department-wide RAC, Writing Rhetoric and Cultures department. It's a department-wide conference for all of our first year writing students. So you submit a conference proposal to the planning committee. In that you briefly describe your project, you select a time, and you explain who will be presenting that particular project. Then you present and attend in that time slot that you are assigned based on your preferences, of course. And that's it. There will be more information provided in class about this conference, when it is, how you attend, any other little expectations, worries, and concerns that you may have about it. That's really the Remix project in a nutshell. Again, we're going to go over a lot of these things in class and really think about how we do this, what we're going to do with it. And then it's open for you to create and make and do. This presentation slides were from Slides Carnival, and then it downloaded into Canva to create this wonderfully lovely presentation.